quick change. Anita asked to go first, and Sharon's not here first anyway, so. And I had me and Sherry on there, because I didn't think Anita could come, but she's here, so we'll let you go first if you want to sit up here.
I could move my purse.
Okay. Thanks. Okay. I'll just give you each one of these so you can see what I'm talking about. It's just notes for that, but this is in regards to making our ambulance affordable and complying with the state. Yes. It was a very good meeting. And I need my glasses.
Hi, come on in.
Okay, so I met with the labor board last Thursday, and we had to do something different because the volunteer status was just not complying with the state laws. Mainly because if you paid it a volunteer status, it can only be 20% of what a normal pay would be for them.
Is that the same in Enosburg? Do we do it the same way they do or not?
Enosburg pays a lot more.
Yeah, they pay different.
Okay.
Ideally, we kind of were compliant with it.
Yeah.
Well, it's basically needed to be worded differently.
Okay.
Because we are on most of our people are waiting to engage, we can actually do it as a daily salary amount, but I just need to keep track of actual hours worked.
Are we gonna have to pay benefits?
No, because of I talked to Alan and he didn't think so, but he needs to clarify that as well.
Okay.
And so what I do is I keep track of the actual hours worked. And it's never gonna go over.
The lady at the labor board said that you didn't have to pay benefits or health insurance.
She didn't.
Good.
Yeah,
So we're compliant,
Yeah.
okay.
But, she has had, I sent her a
Alan
copy.
worries.
Yeah, I sent her a copy of this and there have been no rejections as to this so far.
Good.
Now, we have 2 people that are engaged to wait that need to see at the station, but they're not more than 2 days, or 2 shifts.
Okay.
So they're not gonna be, so we will need to keep them regularly at 2 shifts. If they're occasionally over, then
That's okay.
that's not gonna interfere with benefits.
Good.
As far as paying that out, just as long as it's not on a regular basis, which it most likely would not be. So we have to pay them their $10.78 an hour, because they're engaged to wait.
Okay.
Okay, so that's the 12 hours, which isn't that much more than what we were.
Comes to like $128 a
Yeah.
shift versus
Yeah.
$117. It's not really a lot.
Nothing.
Right.
And everybody's been getting paid the $117 a shift. That's why we didn't
do it.
We weren't really that far off as far as not complying.
Yeah,
I don't believe anybody's worked over the hours that they were supposed to work
Right, no.
based on what they got paid.
No, since, like, in the past, they've never gone over
Right.
that much, so there shouldn't be an issue as far as having to pay back for minimum wage because of actual hours worked.
Did you
So
talk to her about,
Because actual hours work, not actual hours that they're waiting.
Right, work.
Exactly.
Because they're waiting to engage, there's a difference. Waiting to engage means
Versus actual hours
they
worked.
reside in the area
Yep.
and they don't have to be at the station.
did you speak to them about what if somebody stays overnight?
Well, that's what she's talking about.
That's what you're talking about now.
More
A couple
2 shifts.
out-of-town people.
Okay.
Yeah,
That-
So that's okay.
Well, they're engaged to wait, and those are the ones that we have to, because they're engaged to wait, they're
wait.
already engaged because they have to be
Okay.
at the station, that we have to pay that minimum wage.
Okay.
So instead of them,
Yeah.
they're gonna get like
$29.
$129 or,
For
Yeah,
being there and they're from out of town and
but they can only work 30 hours.
hours, yeah.
under 30
Well,
hours.
it's cheaper than
20 hours.
paying another
Yeah.
ambulance to
I
come.
mean, I'm thinking, as far as that pay goes, when we redo the budget for next year,
Yeah.
so we can have some money, we can
We're gonna
get everyone
adjust it
paid,
so it's
so everyone's
not
getting
for
paid the
everybody.
same.
Yeah.
Right now, we just don't have the money to do it. We're pushing it, just doing this because we're that tight on
Good.
doing that. So that's basically all there was to that, so it's on that
Did she
pay.
say anything about, because I know you said something about the insurance thing. Now, I do know if people work 30+ hours a week,
That's actual hours worked.
So it's actual hours.
It's not
That's-
waiting time.
So they
Yeah.
have to go on like 15, well.
Calls in a
Phone
week for
calls,
them to
right.
qualify for any insurance, but it has to be an average over a whole year. Because if average over a whole year of over
insurance.
30 hours,
Correct.
it's $2,000 penalty fee if
Right.
you don't have insurance.
So you might as well buy the
Yeah.
insurance for that
Yeah.
price.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Okay, did you mention to them that if they had phone calls from people and issues that they should call you and ask you what's going on and instead of,
Yes, everything is supposed to be routed through her.
yeah.
Okay, instead of
Yes. Yes.
Everything.
becoming a big issue?
Yeah, no.
that
Yes,
They call you if
yes.
they have a
Yeah,
question?
yeah,
Good.
then if if I'm not sure, I can, or if
Right.
it needs more, it needs to
Right.
be escalated, then,
Then you're the one to
Yeah.
come forward
Yes.
to the
Especially
residents.
you mean someone from the ambulance calling the labor board.
Yes, that they
Yeah.
should call and find out what's going on.
With her, yes.
Yes,
And she's
not
the
let
one
it
on
go
top of
till
all
it
this.
becomes an issue.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, at least this is taken care of,
Yep,
Yeah.
and,
and takes all the worry off everybody's heads.
From my point of view, it's like, I don't know, it's kind of shooting yourself in the foot to call, I mean, we're doing everything we can do to try to keep it going the best
Yeah.
that we can do, I mean, I
Yeah,
don't know.
well,
mean-
sometimes things,
I mean, if we can grow our team and get this, I mean, we can probably make changes that, for more benefits for
Yeah, definitely, that
them.
that
We're
is the
just
goal.
getting
This is,
started.
right now, doing anything to,
Is to get the service up and running. So
Yeah.
there-
Yeah.
There are people that are running.
doing
it
anything to
that are
upset what's
doing
going
well.
on, it's just gonna,
Slow everything
Slow
well,
it
else
that
down.
may be the intention.
And the
Yeah.
people from the labor board are, I think, more than willing to accommodate.
yes.
I would hope so.
Yes,
I
actually,
would
they were,
hope so.
they were working on it,
Because, I mean, it was
Yeah.
explained to them how it was.
Going to affect our town.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
thrown, it was
That's-
thrown in
yes.
her lap and our
yeah.
lap.
Well, I just heard
I
that
did.
from somebody on here that Montgomery doesn't do their ambulance anymore. Did you know that?
Munisburg does it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they bet.
But I mean, they sold everything.
The select board shut them down.
The select board in
The
Montgomery?
truck was no longer
Oh,
justified
and they didn't wanna
as
buy
a
another- okay.
$200,000 investment for a new ambulance.
Well, they used to have us. Now
Well,
they're-
we have to wait 5 years for that.
Yeah, well, it's okay.
Hopefully we'll get back to that spot though.
Right, well, when that
That's
comes
the
to that
goal.
point, we'll
We'll talk
That's
to them
our
again.
goal.
be on it.
You wanna go over the ambulance too with for the grant while you're here?
Oh, okay, what we had, I gave you the,
You took it back.
oh, okay, I'll do that in the next meeting.
No, no,
'Cause
we're not
I
talking
have-
about that.
Okay, cause I gotta have a quote for a new ambulance, so, and I just wanted to go forward to apply for a grant, this.
How much is a new ambulance?
Was $176,000.
Just gotta check.
I'm surprised it's not even more than that.
Yeah,
You gotta
check.
get the quote before you can apply for the grant.
Right.
I would go
Yeah.
off that quote and apply for your
Just gotta
grant.
check
Yeah.
two things, that was all I was telling her tonight, make
Yeah.
sure it's got the low system.
You can
Yeah.
contact Bernie's office too, because I got some grant information from them when I called about the
Bernie
fire.
Sanders' office?
Yeah.
Okay,
They're real good about giving you some places to,
yeah, they have the one, Chris, they've applied for grants before, and I had called on it already, and they, so I have the place where they usually go through. Maybe I could find something better.
well, I'm trying to find those masks for the
Yeah.
fire department, so.
Yeah, yeah, when we, on the ambulance, what we're going for is a whole package deal with the, cot with it and the loading
You mean the
system.
raisin cot?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
with the
Cause
loading,
Alan said he
yeah.
wanted to buy another one of those.
Yes, but we wanna do a package deal with the loading system with it, because that's really rough on people's backs,
I know.
having to do the lifting. If we had that loading system, it would just really
Do we
save
use
a
the
lot.
one we've got?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the loading system she's talking about, the stretcher clicks into
Yeah.
the truck.
Oh, yeah.
You push the
It's
button, the
already
stretcher lifts
in there.
itself up, the wheels go up, and you just push it in the truck, there's no more lifting.
Yep,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Does Port
Yeah.
Health still sell
That's
ambulances?
who I told her to contact.
Okay, well, I
Yeah.
If
need
we
to
want
talk
to
about that
go
too.
anywhere,
Okay.
Yep. And that's it.
Okay.
Okay.
Any questions?
I think we asked them all.
Go ahead and start the rest of it.
Okay, Sharon and Lisa,
Do you wanna start sharing since
you guys
you
can sit here if you
started
want, both of you.
the,
You wanna come up here or you're fine?
Have some ice cream for you.
Huh?
Have some ice cream for you.
Come up, have some, I got plenty.
well, I don't know what you need.
All right. So as you guys know, we had the Attorney General, TJ Donovan, out a couple months ago and he got an earful about the situation with the condition of some of the properties in the town and the kind of problems that has created. And then, of course, his office sent a couple people out to talk to landlords, but it was for everybody about the lead paint, the rental
Right.
unit. They call it the Landlord Restoration Project, but it doesn't actually restore landlords. It's about rental units that are built before 1978. And everybody who is renting out a unit in a structure that was built on or before 1978 is supposed to be doing annual inspections and reports to the state about what they've done.
State law.
Yeah, this is state law. And I scanned and emailed some documents, but Alan I was happy for him to take the originals and have them here for people to take and make use of. But basically, essential maintenance practices, or EMPs, are required, and the state has been working hard to not use sticks, but to use carrots instead. There's
Sticks.
well, maybe they're carrot sticks.
Carrot sticks, there you go.
But they are having a training, and the document that they gave us was actually misprinted. It is on September 18th from 5 to 9 p.m. at the Enosburg Emergency Services Building. And it's a $10 fee to register. People have to pre-register. They have to have at least 10 participants signed up or it'll be canceled. But anybody who completes that will be certified to do lead paint remediation on their own property or even on other people's property. So this is an opportunity for not only landlords, but tenants or anybody else who thinks, oh, I know, Mr. So-and-so could probably use some help. I'm going to invest $10 in my education here and then get I think they call it an EMP number. And so that's September 18th from 5 to 9. And we had a conversation with Josh, what's his name? Hanford. I'm like, it's H something. And I think that's where you can take over about some of the opportunities. And the lead, there are funding opportunities. And
So we should probably have our housing officer go to that.
Absolutely.
yeah, absolutely. And drag as many people as possible.
So it's $10, like if.
Per person?
Per person
Per
or for the
person.
town?
Per person,
Per person.
yeah. And it's,
You're hoping landlords
there's
would go,
food.
but
I think there may be food, I'm not entirely sure, but from 5 to 9, one would think there would be food.
So that would give someone the authority from our town to inspect a home.
It would give somebody certification from the state to do
determine whether it's lead paint or not.
lead paint remediation or abatement, to practice the essential maintenance practices. They'll have all the information.
It's just for the paint though, right? It's just the paint.
It's just for the paint. It wouldn't be,
Going in the
lead
house, no.
pipes or anything.
Could it be indoor lead paint?
It could be indoors,
Okay.
yeah, absolutely, indoors or outdoors.
Well, if it's been painted over,
Well, you can still
If
tell.
it needs
Still
to
comes
be,
out.
so the kind of like what they say is a 12 square inch patch or bigger, so this
Dig
is,
into it.
so this is like about 12 square inches right here. Anytime there is an issue that's about this big or any bigger, it needs to be dealt with. And that's what the state expects and wants from landlords on rental units. And this only applies to rental
Only
units, this
applies to
law.
rental.
It does not apply to residential homeowners. It's only rental units. And they only have about 25% compliance rate right now. Because most people just don't know about it, and the law's been on the books since the 80s.
So we could push it. If we found some lead paint, then we can, the
You
state
could-
will cite them or,
The state could,
Will come in,
would
could
reach
come in.
out to them and say, hey, this has been brought to our attention, and we would, these are the rules, this is how you do it, it's easy, please comply. Yeah.
you know, you could maybe tell me if this is right or wrong. When I had painters come, they did my porches over. The painter told me that if he scrapes the paint off my porch, it's lead, if it's lead paint, it wasn't. He would get fined because he's a contractor, but I can scrape it all I want off, throw it on the ground and put it in the air.
Well,
That's what he told me. I didn't.
Yeah, you're
didn't.
obviously not supposed to.
No, you're not
do
supposed
that,
to, but I wouldn't get fined where he
You
would.
wouldn't get fined where his professional license would
Yeah,
be.
would be. I thought that was odd that I could just
Yeah.
throw it in the, yeah.
It's I think that balance of
Common
the
sense.
state, of the state saying, this is what you should do, but only
Yeah.
having actual
Right.
legal statute that impacts, landlords and licensed
Contractors,
folks,
right.
since they don't want to micromanage all of us. But we do have the second oldest housing stock in the state, which is one reason why this is such an issue. And they will get information from the Department of Health about, clusters of kids with high lead blood levels. And, they'll focus on that community. And it works. Yeah.
Good.
All right.
Okay, so after, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Lisa Hango. I'm your other representative in Montpelier. After we spoke with the Attorney General's office and had them here, we were advised that it would be a good idea to see who else in the governor's administration dealt with housing issues. So we went through a series of contacts and came up with the very new commissioner of the Vermont Department of Housing and Community Development. His name is Josh Hanford. And he had a wealth of information for us, and he's also put us in contact with two different people, someone who's administering the Champlain Housing Trust and another gentleman in his office who deals with other grants. So what we found out is that there is a village center designation, and Richford does have a village center designation, and communities who have this village center designation can apply through the Vermont Department of Housing and Community Development for a community block grant, and the Champlain Housing Trust administers those grants. There are also downtown tax credits of up to 25% for any property owner to make property code, Americans with Disability Act compliance upgrades, weatherization, and other general safety and efficiency standards upgrades. So there is money out there for communities like ours. What we did find is that there are very few people in rural communities reaching out to get those grants, mainly because of a lack of knowledge about them and a lack of knowledge and know-how to go about applying for them.
Is that for businesses or is that?
Yeah.
It's for anybody.
Anybody.
Yeah.
Homeowners, landlords, municipalities, businesses.
I think
Landlords,
the
yeah.
whole health center building is a community block grant.
It was,
Yeah.
yes. So there are new
We've
ones
had them before,
available.
we've had them before. It's a lot of work, but
There are new
it's
ones
working.
available, and the Department of Housing and Community Development will be happy to send a team of people here to help us apply for grants and to figure out what various landowners need, or various property owners, I should say, not just land. So we would like to organize a community meeting at some point in time. We have yet to hear back from these two gentlemen because they've been away on their family vacations or bringing their kids to college.
Do you happen to have their names,
I do. There is.
just to see if they're familiar to us
Okay,
from
one's
before?
last name is Amour, Amour.
Okay.
Richard, no, I'm sorry, I spelled it wrong. It's Richard Amore, Amore. And the other one is Rob, and I don't know how to pronounce his last name, Leuchs. Rob Lukes.
Okay, neither, I don't think any of those people
So
came
these
here.
are possibly new
Yeah.
people with
Yeah,
new,
probably.
Do you have
newish
any idea what the
administration.
dollar figure is for some of these grants?
I don't, but I have links to them that I would be happy to send you the links so that you can start investigating them. And also if we could find out from you or John who's on the planning commission, we can send those links, or I can send those links to
Cause these grants
those
are not,
people.
they're not necessarily town, like, they're not grants that the town would get, they're
They could
grants
be.
that.
They could be, but I think the town, I think you can only get a certain number of these grants a year, and the town has to sign, even if
Yes,
it's not ours.
that's
We have to
correct.
say, so if you wanted to do it and somebody else wanted to do it, and a third person, there wouldn't be, it would be a limit, and the town would have to say, okay.
And the library, I understand, could use some help.
Yes.
I'm terrible
what?
with names. I would have,
It was a roofing,
there was,
I think, a roofing.
She has that all taken
Place.
care of.
oh, she did?
We were
Okay.
contacted
Yeah.
by her very recently, and remind me of her name, Sharon doesn't remember
I
it.
can't
remember it.
her name, but
That's
She was looking-
that's our building, and she's in charge of
Yeah.
it, she's gonna
Yeah,
put,
okay.
yeah, I don't know why
it's
she
all
went
taken
out
got-
care
above.
of?
It's got some heating things, but that's the same way older
Okay.
houses heat a little differently.
Okay.
Okay,
It's
but
through,
that certainly would fall under
the
this.
roof has been brand new, the paint is peeling, but that's brand new. Porch has been fixed, the paint
Furnace.
inside looks great,
I'm
but
very-
it's really old, they want it replaced.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, well,
So.
And the rugs are really
They need
old,
to
but
go
they
through
look
us.
really good,
Yes.
but they want them replaced. I'm like, that's very low priority, because they all still look very nice.
And in answer
So.
to your question, yes, it does.
Some
it
windows
should
need to be fixed over
run
there.
Well,
through.
that's our
Those are being
issue, yeah.
working on, but
That's-
besides that,
That's
that's,
Okay,
It should
okay.
funnel
Yeah,
through
that
New
was-
librarian.
And that's why we'd like to work with the town officials and the planning commission.
Yeah,
To
I
make
send
sure that
inspections over
the
and over
right
again.
people are
Yes.
getting the right money. So the long and the short of it is, we're waiting to hear back from these two gentlemen. And as soon as we do, we'd like to see what their schedule and yours looks like to come up with a meeting and think of brainstorm ideas, how we can better publicize it so that more people can take advantage of this and more people will know what is going on. Just some thoughts, if you have a website or if there's social
We do.
media that's being used, or landlord mailings, because there are a number of out-of-town landlords too
Yeah, we
who may
know.
not hear about it. So that's where Sharon and I are headed with this, and it really does go hand in hand with the Attorney General's interest in old buildings and potentially dangerous situations.
Attractive nuisance. Yeah.
So that's what we
Good.
bring to you tonight, and we really hope that we can make something of this. We're pretty excited about it.
Yeah, thank you for looking
Yeah,
into it.
Oh, you're welcome.
And you
It's
don't
our
have any
pleasure.
idea dollar figure what these grants.
Well, look at the health center, I mean, that whole building was,
Right.
I think they got 400,000.
was it 400?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty big.
so they can be as small or as large as need to be.
800's maximum.
Is it as small or as large as need to
800,
be?
yeah.
What is the max?
So
800's the max?
if I am not recalling, but if you're,
I am not recalling dollar amounts,
Yeah.
so I'm,
It's right up there.
Well, that's what it used to be a few years ago, I don't know what it is now.
Okay.
so I can forward these links to whomever is interested.
Send it to the select board and we'll get them out to everybody.
Okay, great, thank you.
and I hope, I'm
Do you have my
the,
personal email too?
I'm looking.
Or Sharon does, she can.
Derby Farms Maple
Yeah.
Products? I do.
I registered for the September 18th workshop, even though I have to run to the Franklin Select Board meeting that evening. So I'm gonna be there for the beginning and the end. I won't get certified, but I'll be there to pick up as much information as I
Information as you
can. And also because I am one person who has registered, so as long as 9 more people register,
Right,
it'll.
but we'll see that Kim registers then.
Yeah, I
Collins.
think Kim and David, doesn't her husband do the housing with her too?
Well, yeah, he drives around, so they could both,
Yeah, for $20.
we can
Yeah.
send him for
Yeah.
$20, yeah.
That
I
sounds
mean,
good.
that would be.
Because he does
If they
go
don't
with her,
mind
he
doing it.
goes with her, yeah.
It'd be a good
Yeah,
certification
that
for
too.
him to have.
And if you have any, I could imagine, Bill O'Brien, he knows about it because he was
Yeah.
at the meeting. Some of these conscientious landlords.
Right,
would
you
wanna
might wanna
know.
go, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, sounds like a plan. I'm sure Enosburg people will go too.
I hope so.
I hope,
Yeah.
yeah. We've let I've let both of the newspapers know about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if we do have this meeting with the community, housing and community development folks, we'll take care of media
Oh, good.
Yep.
notification.
Well, we can put it on our website too, and Andy's on
I put
Facebook
it on
too.
the Facebook page, but I feel like the lead paint thing, I mean, it's not a bad thing, but it's definitely not.
Gonna
the cure.
attract a crowd, yeah.
Well, it's just not the cure to our problem
Right.
in Richford. I mean,
Yeah.
I see their point of saying, oh, we got the lead, but
Yeah.
it's not.
No,
really the-
it'll
It's not
solve
the
a
fix.
corner
Yeah.
of the issue.
Might
where
open a door.
I think the other options moving forward need to be municipal.
Yeah,
And municipal and also the DOC, which we haven't heard back from yet.
That's the next step.
Right.
We have a meeting this week, time yet to be determined about the Department of Corrections
With
answer.
charity, is that with charity?
Yes, do you recall at the first meeting with the Attorney General that he promised he was gonna get in touch with the Commissioner of the DOC to find out why we're getting so many people on parole here with no support services? Well, we finally did hear back and we're meeting by phone with one of his assistants who has, according to her, information on
Yep.
that meeting.
I met with parole and probation and parole one year. It was very interesting, the answers that I got, and the numbers aren't any different than anywhere else,
Right.
you'll find.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So one of the things that became pretty clear, we, Franklin County and Grand Isle are lumped in with Burlington. And so the assumptions are made that the cost for rent, living costs are similar to
Cheaper here.
Burlington.
Yeah.
And so the state's money goes further here. But the assumptions that they make, what they're willing to, cut a check for rent in Richford is disproportionate to what a landlord renting to employed tenants
Right.
could charge.
I absolutely
Right.
believe that's.
Yeah,
Right.
and this was actually one of the documents that was handed out at the little the lead talk that just shows that, the amount of money that you can make up to and still qualify, if you're in, these are not my reading glasses, but if you're in most of these counties, it's around $40,000 to $42,000, but here, Grand Isle and Burlington is $50,000. So on this particular front, for the Vermont Housing and Conservation Board to provide some financial subsidy for doing the right thing regarding lead paint, it benefits the town, whereas in the other regard, it is a deficit. Yeah.
And in my committee, I did question the housing authorities about being lumped into the Burlington MSA. They call it the MSA. They freely admitted that it was not a good idea. They have no idea why Franklin County, especially the outlying towns like
Yeah.
Richford.
Well, in
are
probation and
lumped into
parole
it.
prefers to have them closer to them because they have to come up here all the time to check. They said we'd much rather have people in the St.
Right.
Albans area or whatever, but people can live where they want. That's the
Right.
bottom line. People can
Right.
live where they want to live.
Yeah.
They can, but when the rent's $600 here and it's
Well, yeah.
$800 in St. Albans,
But if they're not paying it anyway,
no, stay here.
yeah, that's what I'm saying, they can live where they want.
And it really would be preferable, and the Attorney General's office has said this too, for people to live where there are services.
Exactly, or jobs.
Jobs.
And jobs,
And
yeah.
training.
Training.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, that's parole was all for that, but
Yeah.
it's hard to keep track when you're farther away.
Yeah, yep,
You can hide.
So we're plugging along
yep,
Thank you.
and we'll keep you posted for sure.
Good.
yeah.
That's our.
It's already getting dark.
No, summer's over. You didn't know that? It ended today. Today, Sharon.
La la la. No, I guess I'll move the sheep fencing in the morning. They're gonna have to just eat stubby grass until
Eat
then.
stubby grass.
Yeah. I think that's it. Any
So
questions?
thank you, yeah.
Thank you for doing
And
this.
reach out if
Thank
you
you,
have
yeah.
any questions
Well,
too.
hopefully there'll be a payoff.
Yeah, yeah.
Who do we have, the contact information for that lead paint class?
So,
Where do you sign up?
so let me.
I think there's some flyers out in the hallway.
Oh, we have a
Flyers-
flyer? Okay.
The flyers look like this, and this, you would register here,
Okay,
but the time is wrong, it's 5 to 9, not 5 to 8.
okay,
Okay,
let me have some of them here.
okay. See
And-
poster, it's in the hall, John? Okay.
And if
I'll
it's
put it in the minutes too.
gone, I had emailed it, scanned and emailed these, Alan would have,
Okay, that's
yeah, should have that in email.
Okay.
Yeah.
See poster in the hall. Okay.
Those are yours.
Thank you.
Yeah, I made copies because of all the changes. Yeah. All right,
So when do you go back? January?
yep, yeah.
Well, rest up.
We're just starting to get really busy.
Oh, I know, it
now.
starts
We've got a
now.
busy month.
Yeah, there's no rest for the wicked or the weary, yeah.
Okay,
Good,
thank
thanks
you.
for
All right,
coming.
Thank you for having us.
If
Nice
we want
seeing
to
you.
sit and listen.
Oh, not a
to the rest
problem.
of the meeting, thank you.
Oh, yeah,
Amend and approve minutes.
curious things to listen to.
Did you bring a copy of the old minutes? I already read them, but I didn't know.
No, I didn't even bring in the agenda.
I'm good with
Did you
them.
find something
No.
wrong?
Did you do the agenda?
Thank you.
I'm good with them.
No spelling was wrong, just like?
I don't know, did you look at them?
No.
Okay, then you don't get to say.
I'll make a motion to accept them.
I'll second it.
All those in favor say aye.
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 What was the date on that?
8/19.
You saw, I wrote in my note to you that the time to do it was when I sent them, and then,
And then we also had the minutes from the 8/19 special, but me and you were the
Only
only
ones
ones at
there.
it, so we don't need to.
No,
Wait a
we
minute
talked
till I
about
get
that
a little
last time,
pen
I
out.
thought. I thought we had,
I think
That was,
by putting it in the minutes, it was enough.
yeah. I thought we talked
Okay,
about
so
that last
Andy
time.
made the motion, Sherry second.
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, there's a second pen that doesn't work. My free Father Flanagan's pens, they don't work. Sherry, second, okay. I'm good.
I don't have too much. Nita went over most of it, already for me. I do have a copy of the police report from the investigation. And of course, it's all blacked out.
Well, I think it's mostly the names.
It's all the way, I know, but so you read it, it doesn't
I know,
make
it makes sense, I know.
to anybody, because anything important is missing. But we do have a copy of it if anybody wants to read it. But the last page, the last paragraph, I'm just gonna read
How
it.
do you want to phrase that? Did we mention the name last time, or did we just say report on a possible theft from the town? Employee theft,
Yeah, it's fine.
possible employee theft?
Yeah.
And this is the result.
The last paragraph says, on May 29th, 2019, I met, well, I meaning the detective, with the state's attorney, James Hughes, on the investigation. He advised that he had enough information to evaluate and render a decision. Thus, he didn't wish me to spend additional time on the investigation. He advised me to send the information in writing to his office for formal review. He was advised, based upon the information during my brief, he wouldn't pursue criminal charges in this incident. He commented about the town's practice with how their employees make purchases, and that the town has made changes to better ensure that this doesn't occur again in the future.
So no charges.
So no charges, but we have a copy if anybody wants to read it. it's here, it's public record, we paid $20 for it, but
With black
a
marks.
bunch of black marks.
I'm gonna hold it up to the light and look.
I had that, I have a sealed bid for the fuel, has, got
Is that the only one?
No, I have one, at the house, written down. I was waiting for the other ones to come in to bring
You
them all
want this
in.
one?
Yes, I'll take
When
it.
are we gonna look at them?
I can bring it next meeting. I have the other one at home.
When do we have to lock in the price? It's
Now,
already
this one is
September.
from who?
McAllister's.
McAllister's, okay, the other one was, SB Collins, those are the only two. that
Lewin didn't
received.
give
The
you
one
one?
from over the mountain, they're not coming over this way, maybe another year or two, but not this year.
The blue ones, you didn't get one from them?
Blue one's called, and basically they didn't send me anything, they basically just told me that, they were gonna go so much over rack.
Okay.
But I don't wanna say that until we get all of them at
So
the
we're
same
gonna
time, what
open,
it is.
open bids, open fuel bids at the next meeting?
That. Water and sewer, Scott's not here. So you, I guess.
Buildings, as far as water and sewer, the only thing I know about is up on, is it Harlem Street?
Oh, they had that leak,
That leak, that's fire,
fire hydrant?
Hydrant?
hydrant. I'm sorry, I've had a really long week. Is actually it's shut off. There is no leaking at the fire hydrant at all. There is no water to it. And the stop on that, customers and town residents works. There's no leak
Everything's fine?
there, so whatever's leaking is on his land to his house.
Okay.
So that's all been researched by Daryl and them. And as far as, I do have the lights at the fire department and ambulance station. The outside lights, there's several of them not working, others are so outdated. Also, the eye that actually controls it all is actually on the wall under the trees. So,
What trees?
over on the side of the building.
There's one eye that controls the whole system there.
Yeah,
What
and
trees?
it's under shade. There's 2 trees on the side of the ambulance station. Yep, and the eye's in the shade, so it really doesn't
Really?
make much of a sense. So I do have a quote for $460 to replace all of them with LED and to remove and replace that light, that eye.
Put it on the building.
And put it on well, it's not on the tree, it's on the building, but it's underneath the tree.
Shaded by the tree.
Shaded by the tree.
It's right next to our office windows.
Yeah, so I do have that. I think we should go ahead and take care of that because that is a safety thing for the ambulance stores and out back of the ambulance station.
Up
And
to
the
you.
fire department station. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. Besides that, I don't have a lot. Joe is doing a great job on this building.
Yes, he
When he
is.
gets around the corner, when this is done here, they're moving on to the stairs at the post office.
By then it'll be snowing.
Yeah. Summer's over.
Marie is going to be painting the ambulance on her off time. We're gonna be doing that on a separate versus being town time. So that's all separate besides that. That's all I got.
Linda?
Speaking of Marie, she did a great job on the gazebo. It's all done. Half the price that I got quotes for.
Awesome.
So that was good. It cost $2,000. I had quotes for $4 and $45, I think they were. Firemen are gonna have a coin drop September next week. I forgot the date, probably on a Saturday. Torrey Street Cemetery, I had them come in and fix the broken stones. Also, the Canada, Vermont marker going up the slide road, East Richford Slide Road, the guys knocked it off with the plow. I had them cement it back, but as I looked at it, it's something the town could do, so if they knock it off again, they can fix it again, okay, so, yeah, because it was just cemented on. I talked to Scott, last time we talked about maybe putting a driveway in up here, and I gave him the paperwork, we own everything from here back, so he can look it over.
So the right of way,
We can
that
both-
was where we stopped the last time.
We can both,
Right
we can
away.
both use it. It's like, if we park something there first, it's, I mean, it's.
Okay.
But
just
if we
a-
put that road in, it's not for them.
No, it's for us. Yeah,
Right.
you could put a driveway in and put some parking up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we weren't sure if that was how much land, but I got it from the listers and brought him the map, so we own right up through.
those
Probably up, we own up to, past the funeral home, used to be a funeral home, Ave Maria to the next house up, yeah.
Oh, so we own all that, all the way up
Oh, yeah,
through
we
there.
own all the way up. All of these houses own way back,
We
right?
should probably find the pins up there.
Yeah.
Just
Oh,
to
he
make
can,
sure
yeah,
that-
he can look at that. But they have it all mapped out. Your land must go way back.
No, mine doesn't.
Yours doesn't, but everybody else's does on that street. Some of it goes almost up to the playground, doesn't it? Like somebody's, is it, no, not that far?
No.
What about Perry's next door? I thought that
Well,
went,
that goes up to where Clark's house is.
that's
That was
far,
Clark's.
almost to the playground. Yeah, I know. It's,
Cause that
It's
kid Perry
huge.
sold that to Clark's.
right, not to them, yeah.
Kinda cool up there, I don't know if they're-
I know, yeah, yeah, it's, because nobody ever goes up there. It's
Yeah.
nice and, I don't know, is it mowed? Do they mow? Do people mow? No.
But we should, I think we should do that.
I think we should too.
Yeah.
It gives us good access to that back door.
Well, that's what we need to keep. He keeps parking in front of
He-
it. That
that's
is
a right
not
of way.
part of the right of way.
Right, right away
You
means
can't
you can go
through
through
it.
it. It doesn't mean you can park and
Or
block
put all
it.
your wood pile on it, or put,
No,
yeah,
right,
and we
that's-
don't
that's
want that
different.
door blocked, because you can't get a wheelchair through when he's got his car there.
Right, and it's also an emergency exit too, so we
Right.
can't have that blocked, something
Right.
happens. This is a
So-
large building.
But it's ours, but he has, the right of way was so that they could get in that garage, I think, to back in and back out. But
Yep.
he's taken it
Taking
over.
advantage of it.
Yes,
Did
yes.
the Collinses or Alan's wife pull any of the deeds or any of that information and kind of research it back a little bit?
On that, no.
Alan's wife would probably be the
I-
best.
Look
at
into
that.
the right of way.
I have the right of way. We've used it time after time on him because when we were doing work on this building and he'd come over and say we couldn't, we have the fact that we can use it. But we should go
So
back and
we
see
have a
who
right
owned
of way
it.
to that driveway, and he
Yeah.
has a right of way to our back lawn.
Yeah, I guess.
And if we decide we're gonna do it, we'd have to get a permit.
Oh, yeah.
We'll just
We'll do it all
in
legal, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that they have time this fall to do it.
I wonder if they
You know,
do.
they probably know best, but
Oh, yeah, you would
They're
know.
starting on the sand pile now, but,
I don't know how much work it
most of
is.
the road projects are done except for that culvert, which we're still
Okay,
waiting.
what are we gonna do? This is the question.
Which
What
is
are we
still
gonna do
waiting.
about that?
Well, we're still waiting for the second person, the paperwork to come back from,
We've got the one from,
oh, you got
I
it?
don't know.
no, we've got the
Just got this
one,
in the mail.
what is that from? Who's that from?
Well, I don't know the names of the people.
Girder?
I was gonna give it to him and Scott. It's, Adam Guttel or.
Guttel. Great-great-grandson of Richard Rogers
But
and
it's not
Hammerstein.
signed though, I don't really understand what.
Well, is there a phone number I can
No,
call?
no, this is from the attorney.
Oh, from the attorney,
Yeah.
Nah.
I don't know if it's just showing that he did the paperwork and sent it to him.
He sent it to him. I talked to him the other day. I talked to Michael Don the other day. We have Will's last name, Will
Yeah.
Because-
Beamer.
well, not, yeah, okay, we have his, Beamer. We have his signed. The only thing we're waiting for is the guy in Washington, and he hasn't responded.
Yeah,
Michael
this is
said,
just a copy. It says July 18th.
yeah, we've got
But when
that,
he
yeah.
called, he must have just sent a copy in the mail, so we knew that he sent it to him already.
Yeah, yeah. But he hasn't heard from him.
Yeah, we're just waiting for him, otherwise the contractor himself, he's ready to start.
Yeah, well, what do we do? What are we gonna do? We're gonna lose another grant if we don't get his thing. We've never had this happen before, and I wonder why. Did John just do it?
John never got easements, he just did them.
But
You can't
don't,
really just go on someone's lane and start
well,
digging
don't we own a certain,
You own
Side?
some, yes.
You have a right of
25
way.
feet or-
You have a
and
right
that culvert's not going in that
The
25
only
feet?
reason why they need to go further up on the person is to allow them to be able to put the header right where they belong, right where it
So
needs
you have
to
to go onto their
start.
property
Right.
and use access their property.
And there's nothing from, that the town says we have to do this, we have to go over your land, there's nothing like that. I mean, we've never, ever, I've been on 10 years, I've never heard of us getting an easement for any road project on the side of the road. But you're saying we can't? Come on in and sign, Darryl.
I don't know, Scott's pretty adamant about getting easements, he said you.
Yeah.
Well, I know now that we've started them, we better get
Go
them.
on people's land without getting an
Well,
easement.
we have to now, thank you.
I mean, technically, that landowner could say, I don't want that culvert there,
Right.
take it out. After the
Yeah.
town spends $400,000 to put the culvert in, or the bridge, or whatever.
Yeah,
And then you gotta have
well, that's why,
access to fix it in the future if you ever
Right.
need to get down in there.
that's why, but it's gonna help his land. That's why I was asking for either an email or a phone, which Michael Gahn doesn't have either. I mean, I would personally try to get hold of him and just say, could you send us something
Right.
on email, just to say, and then that might hold up enough until he's signed.
Give us
But
the
there's
o-
nothing on those letters that
Give
gives
us
any.
the okay to get started, you know?
Right, right. So I don't know how far you wanna go. When's it due? When do we have to have it done?
I don't know with that one,
September, isn't it? Jock, September?
This season anyway, so.
What, $175,000? I don't know. I'm sure that guy's so busy, he's not even, he's got land all over the world. This is just a,
Right,
but somebody mows it, so if I can find out who mows it, they must have some contact with
they
him.
must get paid somehow.
I
Yeah,
don't think nobody mows it.
yeah. Somebody, if Scott told me somebody mows it, or Will told him that it was mowed. I said, well, find out who mows it.
Does he own the red house?
That would be,
I thought the red house went with Beamer's property.
yeah, he would own,
He owns the woods.
to the
There's
right,
nothing
yeah.
to mow.
He said something about mowing.
I don't believe so.
Okay, well.
Unless he owns that red house, it's at the end of the road, but I always thought that red house went with
that was
Beamer.
Beamer's at one time, you know?
Well, Tess and Michael sold this to this guy. And Will got the other side, right?
I'm not sure.
I don't know, but it seems too bad if we have to
This
lose.
guy here owns on the right side as you're going up. The other one is everything on the left, I would think. And that's how it appears to me.
I don't know, but I would wanna, I'd gladly personally call him and just, his assistant even, his assistant, if I could.
I'm looking at the address on there, it's a,
He's on Facebook.
I don't know.
What'd you say?
Maybe he's on Facebook.
Well, I'm sure he is, but he's the grandson of, Rogers and Hammerstein, so he's probably not available.
Yeah.
Probably writing the music or something.
They're wealthy people.
They call them trophy properties. Believe it or not, we have trophy properties in Richford. Well, okay, yeah, that's that. I got nothing. I gotta take a minute break. If you want to keep going, you can, but I won't be writing it down.
Rob, you got anything?
Well, we just mentioned about everything that needed to.
Okay.
The only other thing is on the sheriff's department, there's some people here in town caught 2 weeks ago, caught the thieves and found the merchandise, and they called the sheriff, and the sheriff just slapped the guys on their hand, pat him on the back, said, don't do it again. Never wrote him up in a piece of paper of any kind.
Which break-in was that for?
The ones that they stole Jimmy Clausen's bike and a few other things from different places. They found them guys, and they found the merchandise, but sheriff didn't do a damn thing about it.
No, I haven't got, we're getting to that next. So you're done with highway?
Yeah.
I was gonna go under the police. I haven't.
Wait a minute, did he say anything I have to write down though?
No.
Okay,
For the police, I haven't got a report still, and we still haven't seen that speed limit sign. And
Nope.
then let Jacques repeat what he tell Linda what he said.
Jimmy Clausen got his bike stolen at least 2 weeks ago, if not a little more. Him and a few other guys found thieves, and they found everything that was stolen. They called the sheriff, and the sheriff come over, slapped them guys, slapped their hand and pat him on the back, told them not to do it again. Never wrote up
he
anything.
patted him on the back, you know
Yeah.
that for sure.
That's what.
They went like that, good job?
That's what
You
one of the
sure of
guys
that,
that
or are we
was
spreading
it.
gossip?
That's one of the guys that saw it happen.
Saw it.
Yeah,
I'll talk to
that's
him.
why I'm saying it. He said he saw, no, he was there when they did it. Want me to tell you his name?
Yep,
Lance
I know a lot of lands.
Carr. Was
Oh.
there, saw it happen.
Okay,
Well, I know they haven't put that speed thing up, and I mean, I don't know how many more times we need to write them about that, but
Right.
speed
I'm
sign.
kinda sick of talking about it.
The other thing though, in the bills this week, there was a list of all of the police calls here. It was, they must send it to Alan because it was clipped to the bills, the police bill, a payment. And on the back, it had all the, like how many people they stopped in town and what they stopped them for. So,
They sent it to Alan instead of the select board.
must be,
But why would they switch? You used to send it to the select board address,
yeah. Well,
and you had to send it to my personal email.
no, I know,
It's been
I haven't
3 months.
gotten it either, but I did see it on the, it was Franklin County, and then it narrowed down Richford, and it had this many domestic calls, this many, so it's on the bill, that part. But we had also asked for who was on duty. So we can find out who patted him on the back, see, I
Well,
can
and if
look
there's-
right on it.
Well, if there's a problem, it's nice to know.
Well, yeah,
Have somebody.
well, we always used to know who was on duty.
There was Jim
Chris
Boyd.
always could look.
Jim Bowles showed up, and then there was another one, and it's the other one that,
I don't think Jim was patting anybody, yeah.
no, I didn't say it was him.
No.
I said it was the
I
other one.
said,
I said the other one is the one.
right, right,
Where'd they steal it from?
his garage.
The motorcycle must have come from Jimmy Clausen's place somewheres,
Well, there's been some
but
stuff
then
on
there
that
was a few
street.
other things.
Like
They
Roberts.
broke into Roberts,
Yeah.
they stole from there, someone broke into Pinecone last weekend.
Yeah,
Right.
we
So they-
can't say that was Richford though.
No, but it's close
It's
enough.
close enough.
According to the paper it was.
Did they found the people that did it?
No, but according to all the news reports, it's
It says it's in
Richford.
Richford, but it's not.
Well, the Pinecone isn't in Richford, no, it's in Berkshire.
Right.
Robert shook a couple of them up, but they were the wrong ones. Okay, so I'll ask him for the sign again, but there was a report on the bill. I did see it, and I was gonna mention it to you, but I hadn't seen you.
Okay. And that's all I got for police, unless anyone's got anything else.
No.
Yes, Joey, you got anything?
Just one big thing, one quick thing,
Big or?
the old Loisel, now, one quick, it's a mess, the Loisel property, you see it all the time you come by it.
Where's the Loisel
The old
property?
Loisel property.
The one that Sandy
sign.
Murphy owns?
Yep.
Okay. What about
Somebody
it?
needs to mow that, that thing looks worse than,
Send her a
that thing's
letter.
nasty.
Can we send her another letter about another offer on it?
She gave me an offer, but it's
I
too
don't know,
high.
It's too much money. But we're.
Do you wanna send her a letter or telling her to
Where's it?
get it mowed?
Down there on Troy Street.
Is that all that's
Could we
wrong?
negotiate?
I don't know how much
with her
garbage
for
is in
one
the-
more
in
time
the
on
grass.
I'm
property?
playing cards with her Wednesday. Let me see if she's
Cause
good.
we didn't use all that money we had set aside
Yeah.
for stuff like that.
Yeah.
At the tax sale, we
I know.
only paid for one property.
Right.
So we have about, I don't know, there's a chunk of money left in there for those type of things. And
Mm-hmm.
that one's like top of my list.
Let me talk to her.
It's the first thing you see when you come
I
to
know.
Richford.
And it's, and without that grass being knocked
She
down,
said she was
it's-
firm on the price, but let me talk to her Wednesday. Send her a letter tomorrow.
What I'd like to do is, we have that welcome sign just before it. If we could get that
Mm-hmm. Clear it.
and clean it all up,
Yep,
make that all grass, and then you could clean up so you could see down to the river.
See the river,
And then set the welcome sign back in there a little bit more, it would look pretty, I mean,
Yeah, it would.
it'd be a start. That house is terrible, terrible
Yeah.
shape.
Couple of picnic tables in the area, something where people can set their
I
bikes.
don't think you can live, and then we'll
Okay.
get complaints that we've got too many parks in town. That's what
But
usually,
even if someone
don't care,
bought that
that's
house
mine,
for
it's
her
what
as
it's
a
for.
rental unit,
yeah.
you can't rent that house.
No, you
you gotta
can't.
tear it
You
down,
can't.
start over.
Now, you gotta remember, the price she offered, we have to tear it down.
I know,
That's another 10.
I know.
So, do you know how much we have left in that budget? I haven't,
45,
oh, we do, that much?
but still, she wanted 14,
15?
15.
Yeah,
That's too much money.
I know.
She's trying to solve it. like
We shouldn't
that.
talk about that in public, though, the
No. And we can't
real
just buy
estate.
it.
I have another real estate issue, we can talk about it in after.
But we can't just buy it either, I mean, we'd have to,
Yeah, we can, Alan can buy it.
Alan could.
He bought that one down there. So we didn't have to, because he has set aside, the thing is, Alan has set aside in the budget, the big budget, money to purchase property. The town passed that budget, meaning he can buy what he wants. basically. Because he also bought 21 Elm Avenue.
Right, and then that one we actually
Sold, and we
now
put that
have
money
paying
back in.
tax
But
people that
since
pay
the town's
taxes.
already voted on the
Pay-
budget
yeah.
and approved it, that was in the budget, so.
The other thing I got is the people parking on the sidewalk all the way down through Troy Street again.
Troy. Where?
There's down by Howard's old place, there's people parked on it, down by Claude's old blue place, there's people parked on it.
Those are the new people that moved in, right?
Yeah, and the sheriffs have all talked to them all, I've talked to the deputies, because I almost hit kids step out in front of you when you're driving down through there during the day.
Yeah.
Especially if you're
Going around
running an ambulance too, if an ambulance flying down through there, kids step out to see what's going on in the cars.
So you're saying it's illegal
just-
parking?
Yeah, because you're not supposed to park on the sidewalk.
There's no parking
It's on the
spots there.
sidewalk, okay.
Yeah, they are literally blocking the sidewalk with their cars. The sheriffs have talked to most of them, because I actually make
Well,
complaints.
then they need to
every
give them tickets.
Yep,
night. They say they don't know if there's an ordinance, is what one of the deputies told me.
Well, I don't think anybody can park on a sidewalk, there doesn't have to be an
I
ordinance.
don't know, that's just what I've been told.
Which cop you talk to?
Most of the deputies that are in town, I don't know which ones they are.
So you don't, it's not Bose then if you don't know?
No, it's
Okay. I'll talk to him.
it's been the night kids.
I'll talk to them tomorrow.
They're all no good.
They're all no good. That's nice to say on
And all
TV.
the younger ones.
Well, they don't do their job. So I'm gonna put it that way.
Joey,
They always come when I call.
Sharon, did you have anything else?
No, I'm just listening.
Yes, I'm here for the planning commission with Jock and Sherry. We proposed some new bylaws, which we will, and revisions, we'll be having a public hearing on September 19th for it. Then after we have one, you have to have one.
Yeah.
oh, sorry, excuse me.
Is that the same night you just said of that lead paint thing?
No, that's
No, that's
the
the 8th.
Okay. Okay, so public hearing on the new zoning or new bylaws or
addition and revisions.
additions and revisions. Okay, we're not gonna read them all, are we, right now?
No.
Your thing is September 19th. When's our next meeting? September 16th.
Yep.
So at our 16th meeting, we can see if we had any,
Well, you have to have a public meeting.
we have to have a public meeting anyway,
After we
yeah.
have it, yeah.
Right, right. But if we have some things we wanna talk about, okay. Fences.
I'm just giving
Any-
you these
anything-
copies so you will have them.
Have 'em-
We can just look
anything,
these over after.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna go with that. We don't have to go to the wall, right?
no. But it'd be nice if we did. Anything outstanding that you could mention tonight? Anything that is gonna cause some controversy or anything?
I don't think so,
No.
but one of the most important things is the violation enforcement.
Yes.
We're gonna try to put in a civil penalty so we can fine somebody without taking them to court. Now, because we have to take them to court. we
Costs
can't
us
do anything.
$2,000 taken to court.
You can fine up to $800 under this civil penalty, and then if that doesn't work, then you have to go to
What
court.
page is that?
That's right on the front.
And on
front
this,
page.
right here? Oh, right here. Okay. And then when you give them a penalty, if you don't go through the court, how do you get your money?
It goes through the judicial bureau, same as a speeding ticket.
Okay. Okay. So then do we have to warn these for 30 days or 45 days?
You have to warn it for 15 days.
For our meeting?
For your meeting, yes.
Okay.
And then, since there's never been a petition by the voters that have them vote on, it, you can adopt these
Right.
the same as you do any other
Right,
ordinance.
right. But we have to warn it for
You
15
have to
days
warn it and then
first.
have a meeting.
When should we warn it then? After our,
After hours.
after your meeting? Okay.
Yes.
Warn it for 15 days after your meeting,
You
after
gotta
the,
present it to the public first.
right,
Yeah.
planning meeting. And then 15 days, and then at the end of the 15 days, our meeting, we can pass it.
Well, we could adopt,
Adopt it, yep.
that following Monday, the 21st, right? And then we just gotta post it for 15 days before it comes into effect.
No,
No.
you've got to
We have
post
to
it
post
15
our
days
meeting.
before your meeting.
Oh, before.
We have to have a public meeting on it.
Yeah.
Before our meeting,
That public meeting can just be our select.
but it has to
meeting, right?
happen first.
Yeah, we just put it on the
Yes,
same agenda,
yes.
just do it.
Yes,
do it at 6:30.
And then, but we have to have warned it for 15 days and come in at 16, okay.
Is looking at the calendar.
Yeah, what do you see? Their meeting's the
19th.
19th, so we can't do it till,
We have a meeting
October.
following, the 23rd.
No,
That's
no,
not 15.
No, it would be
We
the,
have to go.
meetings,
no, ours
We meet
would be
the
the
16th.
16th.
and then we don't have any more till October.
The 7th. It'd
So it'll be the
7th.
first, we'll warn it after their meeting, and then the 7th of October, we will
Yeah.
have our meeting
Yep.
And adopting.
and adopt it unless there's a lot of controversy about it. When there won't be anybody here anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Nobody shows up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we'll warn it for October, after you're done, we won't do it beforehand. Okay,
Go.
One thing, you're talking block grants and so on, I still think it would be very beneficial for you folks to get some professional help.
Would I be able to speak to that?
Yeah.
There is a grant writer that's been hired by Enosburg, and I'm not sure if the person is full-time or part-time, or if they're willing to share that person with you. But the Enosburg Initiative people, I'm sure, would be happy to tell you more about who that is and what their function is for them, so you could investigate that.
I think once you get that meeting lined up, I would feel more comfortable once that we meet with them and see what there actually is out there.
Yep.
And then look into it even deeper from there and see.
because all of our grants here have been done locally
What
too.
properties it might work for, who might be interested.
Yep.
If 20 people are interested, I don't think the state's gonna give a grant to all 20. They're probably gonna pick one of 20 and say, oh, this makes the most sense, or.
There's a lot of time involved,
That's a lot of time involved administering it too, that's the big, I've always found it easy to get grants when I've written them, but it's administering them, it's a pain, takes a lot of work.
Make sure you come to that meeting.
Yep.
When do you think you'll know roughly when it would be?
I'm not comfortable giving.
Maybe any
I
dates.
have no idea, since I haven't talked to either of those two gentlemen. I have no idea what their schedule is like.
We'll let them know.
Hopefully sooner rather than later. It would be great if we could get something going before, well before we go back to the legislature.
I'd like to get the grants we've got in the works done first, like the rail trail,
Yeah,
and
but
out of our
but some of
hair.
these grants might not be for you.
Oh, yeah, for years,
Right, it could be for anything
But it
else.
might
Yeah.
be, someone might wanna start a business on Main Street.
right,
Yes.
right,
And
You know what I mean?
I know.
It might not be the town, it might
No.
be someone totally,
yeah.
some.
Except we do have to,
outside.
yeah, we have to be involved.
Well, the town only has to approve it though, right? You don't have to administer it, right?
No, she might
Yeah.
have to sign off on
you have to
it.
have local.
Yes, you do. You do for block grants. You do for block grants.
The chair has to sign off on it or something like
Yeah.
that.
We did a huge one. They wanted to have a welcome center here, and Darlene was working on it in the town. I had to sit down with them, and it took us a long time, then we got rejected anyway, but we tried. But Darlene knows how to write grants.
Okay, Josh?
I got something for both of our state reps. What would it take to possibly get some deer crossing signs down through by K-Tech into Berkshire and 105?
I think that's something select board and road crew could talk to you about. I don't have a whole lot of knowledge about getting signs.
That's state road.
Yeah, that's why I was asking them, because it's state, obviously, but.
Yeah, but you should be able to have some influence on state signs too. All the,
State highway.
yeah.
Yeah, there's when you first get on the flats there's quite a few deer that goes across there.
We might have some of those signs too.
Yep.
Yeah, we couldn't put them up though, I don't think, not on the side of a state road.
Probably have to ask,
Ask property owners.
or
I think they would have to do it.
the state foreman, no, road foreman.
So between like the Berkshire town line and,
Yeah, what do you think, Joey? Right here by,
I tagged one by the town line with their ambulance, and there's been a lot more hit there. Yeah, all the way down through that whole stretch is terrible.
I mean, by
Crosswalk
K-Tech?
like Doug Kidder's too.
Yeah, you could-
They've been crossing
Right by
there a lot
Doug
more than they
Kidder's.
ever
You could
have.
put one on top of the hill,
There's more posted land down through there now than there used to be.
no,
Could you just check with the foreman in Enosburg?
and you probably, yeah.
Basically,
Scott might know too.
I know down through Berkshire needs it too, but I mean, that's just something for
That's
them.
them.
but Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, let's go there.
The state garage is right in Enosburg.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right, the state garage is there.
What's the guy's name?
David.
Kennison?
Dave,
Kennison?
no,
He's in Berkshire.
So you talked to him about that sign that was
Yes, I
busted
did.
right here, right?
Yeah.
They fixed it.
I know him real well, I worked with him before.
Yeah, then just ask him, yeah.
Just to find
So
out.
between, I'm just gonna put K-Tech
Town line.
in town line.
I know at least 4 that have been hit down through there this summer.
You done, Josh?
Yeah, I'm back, thanks.
Or anything?
I just have a question. I was told that it was mentioned at one of the meetings that you were about putting a road in the back.
Yeah, we just talked about
We just
it.
talked about it a minute ago. Driveway.
Yeah, and now that could possibly cause an issue for us because that might turn our driveway into a road. If they're gonna go up here, they're gonna come down here.
Well, I don't think it's a,
What can we do to separate the two? That's the thing. I mean, we have an easement back there for parking in the back of the building. Okay, so what's that gonna do? Is that gonna throw out our easement at that point? And we're not gonna have an easement to park
You
anymore?
can't throw out an easement.
yeah, I don't know, we just talked about it about 10 minutes before you came in, but we're gonna have,
I mean, Eric Collins proposed this quite a few years ago.
Yes, he did, I
He found
remember.
out it was gonna cost quite a few $100,000 to do it because it was gonna involve building a wall and filling in, and he wanted to enlarge that whole area and dig out the wooded area there and make several parking places.
I remember when he wanted to do
But
that.
he also was including a way to separate us from that. So that wouldn't involve our driveway becoming a road. I mean, that's our driveway, it's not the town's driveway. So because you've got a right of way, doesn't mean it's your driveway, it's mine.
Well, no, we wouldn't, nobody would be allowed to park there.
That's not the problem. The problem is they're gonna, it doesn't matter if they're allowed or not, they're still gonna use it for a road. They're either gonna see that it goes up there, they're gonna try to go up there and access it, or they're gonna try to come down and exit.
But isn't our easement just to do work?
It is, it's just
Yeah,
for
that is
work on
just
the
to,
driveway.
the only easement we have on your property is that if we need to do work on the building,
Right,
we
I
can do
realize
it.
that, but I'm just saying,
So
we need,
we couldn't do that.
right, I just don't want,
Oh, I see.
you know how people are,
Yeah, I do.
alright? So you know what's gonna happen, even though you
They'll go
put a
right around
parking lot
there.
back there, they're gonna see our driveway as an exit, and they're gonna go down it regardless, or they're gonna make an attempt. I mean, we put our car there, but that doesn't mean they're not gonna try to go down it.
Right, but you could put a chain or
So,
something. We could put a chain.
If you do that project, you're gonna have to find a way to separate our parking area from your area.
Mm-hmm.
So that this doesn't happen. Now, I'm not opposed to your project.
Don't hit Lisa in the face.
I'm not gonna hit her.
She's been flinching ever since you started talking.
That's the Frenchman.
Yeah, I know, but yeah.
No, I'm just saying, you know, we need to try, you know, I said, I'm not opposed to the project,
Right.
I just don't want our driveway to become a road.
Right.
And we need to try to find a way to separate the two.
You're right.
I mean, I would love some additional parking even for myself, because that's what Eric was gonna propose, we could park up there a different way and not even bother your back door
Right,
at that.
that would be good.
And, you know, if he dug that bank out back there where those woods are as part of that project, we could park.
Well, our land goes
Probably.
way
I
back,
know that,
yeah.
I know that, but we could park nose in instead of parking sideways. And then we
right now,
wouldn't,
if we needed to get in our back door for something, we would have to go to your house to ask
Yeah,
you to
you
move
would.
your vehicle
Yeah,
for us
you would.
to get in there. For me, I'd rather, if we have all that land there, why not make it so that we don't have.
well, like I said, I'm not opposed to the project.
He just
you know?
doesn't want us going down his driveway.
Right, I just don't want our driveway being used as a road, I don't wanna lose my parking.
You ain't
Because I
gonna,
have no way of accessing my garage or,
I know.
you know, no place
And
else to
when you
park.
have, no one here seems to know, I'm gonna have, Alan's wife dig it up, but like what? Obviously where your vehicle's parked is the town's property.
Right.
Is that, we have a right of way to get there, and you have an easement to park on the town's land.
Yes, I
That's
do.
how it's
I
written.
purchased an easement when, well, Albert Perry had used, or the Perry family had used that property since Christ was a corporal. And the town finally decided when they did the project in our driveway, when they dug it all out and put drainage in here, they decided that they should make it legal and put it on paper, so then I purchased the easement for that back area back there, where the cherry pickers parked, where my car's parked. And so it's been an easement ever since, but before that, it wasn't an easement, it was just used.
So it's an easement for parking?
Yeah.
But parking anywhere or parking in a specific
No, just
spot?
that area right back to the town hall.
Right.
Basically from the wood line to the building, and I have to stay within I can't block the door, I have to, give you 3 feet, 3 feet around the door, and basically and not store anything back there or something.
Okay, I'm just asking this question, because when I read the deed the other day, if we parked there first, you couldn't park there, right? Or is it, didn't see it written in the deed that you could park there. But maybe I gotta go back to another deed.
I don't know.
I just had the easement in front of me.
I don't know,
Don't
that's
know.
what,
We'll
I'm
look
just
it
going by
up.
what I was told it was supposed to
Okay.
be for. Just like I was told what this right away was supposed to be for as well, I didn't.
Well, I know this one for us is just to
Yeah,
do
for
work.
maintenance
For maintenance and
the
access,
stage
yes.
door,
Right,
and for
Right.
maintenance of the building.
yeah.
I
Well,
mean,
we'll
for
look it
me,
up.
If anything, if we put an access from that side, it would only benefit you.
Yeah.
Oh, it
Because
sure would.
We're
Yeah.
not gonna have to drive up
Right.
through here to get to that back stage door
I
anymore.
mean, the heavy equipment's already collapsed the driveway around those drains, so, now we got that issue
We
too.
wouldn't have to use it unless we were doing work on this wall.
Right,
Well, it was originally because of the they did the drainage there, right? Wasn't that the deal?
yeah, they
had
put
some,
drainage in,
because we were falling apart here with all the water.
yeah, that's why they did that project,
Right.
put a drainage in.
Right, and that's when they
But
got
now, the way
the,
they've got the back there, you can't even use that back door without putting a ramp in, because they dropped it.
I know,
about a
it's
foot.
dropped.
So now that
Yeah, we
door's a
had
foot
to
up.
because it was rotting out sills. We had to
Yeah.
replace all the sills on
They
that
said
back
they were supposed
wall.
to bring some stone in, but they wanted it to settle first,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
so.
but
Well, it's kinda why we're looking at the whole thing.
we're just looking at it
We're
right
back
now.
there.
No, I know, I just
Yeah.
wanna be,
You wanna be in on it, yeah.
informed,
Yeah.
because, I wanna make sure,
Yeah,
I haven't read the easement for back there either, I just basically.
I'll
signed
get
it.
you a copy and,
But I'm pretty sure that what was mentioned for, the reason they did it was so I could park back there.
yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing I use it for, is
Right,
parking and
well,
turn
yeah,
around.
yeah,
But right now, for the way that the dirt is, for it to be, well, the dirt is 2 feet too high, really.
Yeah.
It's up against the side of the building here, and the sill's down here.
Right, so now
if
we
leave
had
it the
to.
same way that it is, in another 20 years, the
It'll
sill's
be
gonna
all
be
right
rotted
again.
out again. So
Yeah.
really, it's the time to fix it and fix it
Yeah.
right, and
Right.
put a little thought into it.
Well, they did put drainage back there.
We did put
along the
drainage
door,
back
but-
there, yeah.
And actually, that was actually the second phase of this project,
yes.
was supposed to put drainage back there.
They never finished it.
And
Finished
pave it, and so that they wouldn't get no more water.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they
That was the second phase that never happened.
Why didn't it happen? I wonder?
That I don't know.
Was that when Eric got
Yeah.
done?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
It
think
never
so.
happened.
Right,
so,
right. Nobody else
No.
took it up, yeah.
Yeah, but that was all supposed to be part of the thing.
Yeah, now it's fixed, well, just about fixed, so.
Cause he had big plans for back there, which, and like I said, I don't mind the project. I'm not opposed to it ever. I just wanna make sure I can park.
Right. Well,
Do you know
we-
where your property pins are back there?
Yep.
That'll work.
Basically, this bump out of the town hall right here, the park, yeah, this bump out. Property line is right even with the wall of the town hall.
oh,
So it goes straight back, up into the woods.
Okay.
yeah, we'll keep you
Yeah, I mean, it's
up on
something we're gonna
it.
do
We're just
back
talking
there.
about it now.
Well, I just wanna, I just
Yeah.
heard about it, so I just wanna
Right.
give my 2 cents
Yep,
before,
yep.
before you guys get too far into the project
Yep.
and.
Yeah, I think first thing first is dig up all the paperwork and see.
Yeah, we'll get out the deeds and
Yeah,
stuff.
legal.
and-
Cause I'm not even sure what they wrote, I mean,
I know.
Laura did all this,
I
I
know.
don't know, and I don't know.
I have the easement, I was looking at it the other day, but we should probably go back to the deed and everything.
Cause I'm not sure what the deeds even
Yeah,
says,
we'll get copies made.
you know.
Tomorrow, everybody will be in, so I can find
What about on
out.
the upper side of your garage? Like your garage sits like this,
Yeah,
okay, and your vehicle's parked here. What about this lane right here?
You're gonna
Can that be
hit,
made into parking?
you're gonna hit ledge
that's
there.
ledge,
It's all ledge up
Ledge.
that's ledge,
That's why they may
Even
not be able to do
Ledge
it.
up or ledge down?
It-
probably both.
Yeah,
But is it above the ground?
Some of it is, yeah. I mean, if you look behind, if you see the garage, it's just like that, right behind the garage over here, you look at it, it's ledge.
Right.
It sticks out of the ground on the other side of the garage, it's out of the ground.
But you own that.
I own that, yeah.
Even behind the town hall here,
It's ledge.
that's gonna be ledge. You ain't gonna dig very far there.
No, it's all ledge.
You might not be able to do it.
Right.
You have to look at it,
Yeah, we need to look at it.
yeah, might not even be possible.
Well, see, that's what I mentioned that project I wanted to do before, I was gonna pay to have people come in and I was gonna have them take out some of that back there to make it further this way. So I could stay away from the building more and have a place to turn around.
Well, we might be able to
They got
make
too
it,
complicated, so I didn't bother.
we might be able to make it so you don't have to park it.
Yeah.
The guys maybe could clear something out,
Well,
if this doesn't work.
If it was doable for him to park on the other
Right,
side of his
it would be
garage,
perfect, and we could
Or
help
up
out,
towards that way.
You know,
yeah,
well, we gotta look at it.
yeah, we'll
You have to look
look,
at it.
we'll look at it.
I can take you back up there whenever you can look at it, the other side of the garden is all ledge and you ain't gonna get very far.
If
The
it's
only way
shady,
is to go in.
if it's shady ledge, you can peel some off, be easy enough with the excavator, but if it's hard, you ain't gonna do nothing with it.
No.
Okay.
I mean, there's ledge right through here. It lifts,
Yeah.
it lifts my barn floor up every winter. Goes up in the winter,
Come on in,
down in the
Melissa.
summer.
Hi.
Well, that's all I got, anyway.
Do you have
'cause you're
anything
here.
else, Lisa?
No, thank
I
you.
didn't mean to get different.
Just going like this.
Nobody yelled.
Slide over the next year.
Have you got anything else?
No,
I've
I was
been
gonna ask you if other business,
approached,
I don't have
I've been
anything.
approached about a real estate thing that needs to be an executive session because it'll cause a,
Okay.
so I make a motion, we go into executive session,
I'll second it.
and I'm sure we're not gonna make a decision. So if everybody wants to leave, I'm just presenting it to you. Did you make a second, Sherry?
I did.
All those in favor?
What time is it? Oh my gosh, only 8:15.
Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.